I'm Tally, this is Farrell, and we are bored of it. Today we're going to review one of our all-time favourites, Secret Hitler. And if you want to see what Secret Hitler looks like in action, we filmed a short playthrough highlights video earlier this week, and we'll put the link to that below in the description box.
Secret Hitler is a social deduction game for between 5 and 10 people.
Social deduction refers to a game in which players have to figure out who is on which team, usually with a good and an evil team.
So you'll be given a secret envelope.
Ooh, secret.
Containing 2 cards. One will be a political party card telling you which team you're on, either the fascists or the liberals, and the other will be a secret role card. And for the most part, this will be the same as your party card. Unless you are the Hitler.
The game is played through rounds of voting. One player will get the president placard, and then they will choose who they want to be as their chancellor. And then the other players will vote ja or nein if they want that person to be the chancellor or not.
And if the vote passes, the president will take the top 3 tiles of the pile, and these tiles will either say liberal or fascist. The president will discard one and pass the remaining 2 to the chancellor. The chancellor will then pick one of these and place it on the respective board.
Usually at this point, arguments and accusations ensue, and then the person to the left of the current president becomes the new president.
What is brilliant about this system is that there are a lot more fascist tiles than liberal tiles, meaning that sometimes both a liberal president and chancellor will have no other choice than to put down a fascist tile. And this creates a level of believability into fascist tiles being put on the board, and this is where the deception comes in, because it makes it a lot more confusing as to who you should believe and who you can trust.
The Liberals will always outnumber the Fascists, but they are at a disadvantage because they don't know who anyone else on their team is. But the Fascists do know who their team members are, and they know who Hitler is from the beginning of the game. But in higher player counts, Hitler does not know who his team members are. So the Liberals can win in 2 ways: by voting in a Liberal government with placing down 5 Liberal tiles onto the board, or by assassinating Hitler.
And fascists also have 2 ways to win, either by laying down 6 fascist tiles and voting a fascist government into power, or by voting Hitler into power as a chancellor after 3 fascist tiles have been laid on the board.
Usually what happens at the start of the game is that everyone will vote the chancellor in, just to see what they'll do. But as the game goes on and you become more suspicious of people based on what tiles they're putting down, the group will become divided. And if the chancellor doesn't get voted in, then the president placard moves to the next player on the left, and then they will choose a chancellor. And if they also don't get voted in, and this happens 3 times, the top policy card in the deck will just be flipped.
Now, where the game gets really interesting is these presidential powers. These will let you look at the next few tiles in the deck, or they will let you check someone's political party card, or even assassinate a player and take them out of the game. This introduces a level of strategy to the game beyond simple deception.
For example, as a Liberal Chancellor, you should always play a Liberal policy card. But if you really trust your president and you're pretty sure who Hitler is, you could play a fascist card and thereby give your president the power to assassinate your suspected Hitler and potentially end the game early.
Or in the reverse, say you're Hitler, but one of your fellow fascist teammates is generally suspected by the group. You could force your chancellor to play a fascist tile, furthering your goal and giving you assassination powers, and then you kill your own teammate, because this will elevate you above suspicion from the group and they'll generally trust you, and then maybe you'll even get voted in a future round.
We have to say this is probably one of the best games we've ever played to win at. No other game produces such loud, intense celebrations as you win, or such crushing defeat and snarky comments from your teammates if you lose.
Yeah, so last year I took it on holiday with some friends and we actually ended up getting a noise complaint because things got so heated. But the thing is, this game is actually quite well balanced in that the Liberals and the Fascists win an equal number of times. But one of the problems is, as is inherent with any of these kind of games, is that everyone would kind of rather be the secret team because it's just more fun to be sneaky and devious and scheme against your friends. That's not to say the Liberals aren't fun, because they are, and you're still going to celebrate just as loudly when you win. You still have to figure out who's who. But it's just that everyone just always wants to be the secret team in these kind of games. But this actually works in its favour, as what happens is that people keep wanting to play so everyone can have a chance to be the fascist, and you'll keep it on the table for longer.
Regarding the player count, as with most social deception games, it is more fun to have more players. And the more players you have, the more presidential powers become available. So it does make the game more interesting. But we do find that the best games of Secret Hitler are where it comes right down to the wire, nobody knows who is on what team, and one wrong move could cost your team the win. So even at 5 players, it's still a super good game, and we would really recommend it if you're struggling to get that higher player count. Secret Hitler is also not too expensive, and it comes with really good quality components. It's pretty fun to pass the placards around, and the boards are really nicely designed. As a side note, there are a lot of knockoff versions floating around, so we would recommend to buy directly from the publisher's website, particularly if quality is something that's important to you. The publisher does also let you print it out for free if that's something that you'd be interested in.
We've introduced this game to so many different groups of people, and it's always been a big hit. People always want to play over and over and over. One of the benefits is that because the games are so short, people have learned the rules and are ready to be competitive by the second game, which is only 15 minutes into playing. And this generally gets played for hours. And in fact, on that holiday I mentioned earlier, some of the people actually decided to buy it for themselves before the holiday was even over.
However, there are going to be some people that don't like this game because they just inherently struggle with games based around lying and deception. Or maybe they just don't click with the theme and having to scream at your closest friends. There have been a very, very small percentage of people who just didn't get on with this game when we've played with them.
So in terms of our final thoughts, Secret Hitler is what it is. It's a silly little party deduction game. You'll know by now if you're interested or you're going to hate it. We 100% recommend it, and it's one of our favourite games to break out when our friends are over, especially if there's a lot of them. And we will be playing for hours, even though each game is so short. If you think you're interested, go and try it out. Go get it.
If you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to be notified when our next review is posted.